Hi there, this is Fred, FR5ED. The 5 is silent. Be sure and visit fr5ed.com. Gonna do beer review here. Got an empty glass. Don't have a bottle. That's because the beer I'm about to review, I actually have a 1/6 keg. I'm sorry, a 1/6 barrel slim keg of Swamp Head. That's in Gainesville, Florida, the brewery. Swamp Head Big Nose IPA. It's rated an 89 on ratebeer.com with a 71 in style. It's rated an 89 as well on beeradvocate.com. Not a lot of reviews on Rate Beer. That's after 40 reviews, and on Beer Advocate that's only after 25 reviews. So, rather lightly reviewed so far. The commercial description says, created with crystal clear spring water that originates in the Okefenokee Swamp. Side note, when I was a young boy, avid reader, I read a book, and I can't remember the name of the book or the characters, but it was set in the Okefenokee Swamp, North Florida, South Georgia area. And that particular swamp is very largely like a peat bog, a floating sponge-like environment. And I just remember being fascinated by that description. Obviously nothing else fascinated me enough to remember details, but Okefenokee Swamp. End of side note. Big Nose IPA is a mystical elixir for hop lovers. Inhale the aroma and devour the flavor of Big Nose. Big Nose features massive amounts of late flavor and aroma hops, augmented with dry hopping and our unique hop filtering process as we transfer the fermented ale to conditioning tanks for carbonation and aging. A rich malt backbone combines with the intense hop flavors to deliver a balanced finish that will keep you coming back to say, "Beer me!" Their term, not mine, although I like it. Ingredients are American barley malt, Centennial, and Amarillo hops, and it's a 7.3% ABV and about 50 IBUs. So I've got an empty glass here. I'm going to cut it here, come right back with a glass full from my tap. So here's my empty glass. Here's my full glass. Magic. In fact, I'm going to let the head die down. Okay, the head's died down a little bit. No need to delay this anymore. It's very hazy. It's a dark orange, wow, not quite amber, but a dark honey, dark orange color. And it's there's no sediment, but it's hazy enough that I can't call it clear, which is fine. I like hazy. I don't like sediment, but or chunks. But this is good. Okay, let's give it a smell. The head's retaining very nicely. It's been a couple of minutes since I mentioned I was going to let the head die down, and that's as far as it got. Great lacing on the sides as well. Smell it. I'll swish this around again. It's been sitting for a little while. Seems like a rather balanced aroma. You can smell kind of a bready, malty smell, but the hops coming through, they're there as well. I'm not getting anything, one thing over another, very pronounced. It's grassy, not quite florally, but grassy and fruity. Let's see if I can, oh, I just got orange. Hang on. Orange, grapefruit. So you are getting the citrus as far as fruity. Pineapple is in the background, I think. Yeah, pineapple and melon are kind of muted, whereas the orange, the citrus is a little more forward. Maybe I poured it a little too full to let the volatiles and aromatics really come cascading out of the narrowed mouth here, but anyway, it's a very pleasant smell. Let me give it a taste. Fairly dry. They do categorize it as an American IPA, which is going to tend more towards the dry side and the hoppier side. So this is Yeah, I would definitely call it dry. Now they said only 50 IBUs. Well, okay, 50 IBUs, I was going to say it feels more like 60. I'm not that good. In other words, the hop bitterness is not missing. It's definitely there. It's dry. Any tiny bit of sensation of sweetness is kind of a fruity, citrusy impression. Definitely taste the malt. I'm getting the aftertaste especially. It's almost like a toasty bread aftertaste. You've got the hop bitterness aftertaste, kind of a toasted bread, malty aftertaste, and a tiny bit of the, at this point, tiny bit of the citrus fruit aftertaste. Let's try a fresh swallow and do that again. Touch of sweetness, and it's kind of citrusy sweetness flavor. As it's dying away, left with the malty flavor. It's nice. It's not super complex. Earlier I had reviewed a couple of other different IPAs, Lagunitas Little Something Something, which by the way is an absolute must. After I finished the review and I finished that glass, it got better and better. That is one of my favorites, absolutely. I did Fishtail Organic IPA, and again, after the review, when I got to spend more time with it, I really would have rated it a little higher than maybe I did in the video. That was good. This is not quite as complex as those two. There's not as much malt complexity or hop complexity. It's good. It better be, because I've got a whole slim keg out there to drink of it, which I won't have a problem because I like it. Yeah, it's very, very nice, almost sessionable. The ABV was 7.3. Might want to be a little cautious on the session part of that. Anyway, this is Fred, FR5ED, saying you ought to try Swamphead Big Nose if you can get it. This is a Florida brewery, small brewery in Gainesville, Florida. I've been there, but not when they're open. The one time I pulled into their parking lot, it was too early to go in, and they're in a small complex, so they're not a large, they're a very small brewery. You may not be able to get this, but if you're in Florida, it is served in a lot of locations, you know, different restaurants and pubs. So if you can try it, I recommend it. This is Fred, again, FR5ED, over and out.